Play to Learn Preschool, and we are here this afternoon to share some ideas for circle time. The other day when we were sharing our thematic blue boxes with you, we had opened up the apple box and the fall box. People were commenting, hey, can you show us more about those circle time activities? So we thought we'd demonstrate a few of them.
I'm going to be the camera person because I'm not singing the wiggly.
She doesn't want to sing the Wiggly Worm song.
No.
So Miss Gemma is going to be the cameraman. And we actually thought we'd flip the camera around because otherwise, the way that the Facebook Live video, the camera works, everything will appear as a mirror image. See, look what happens when we're on the selfie cam. Everything is backwards. All the numbers are backwards. And so we thought if Gemma came around to the back, and then it would be the right direction for you. Okay.
I don't know how good my camera person
So watch.
I had to practice.
You have to decide, is the camera better than your singing, or the singing is better than your camera skills? Okay. So here we go. Hang with us. Yeah. All right. No. Oh, there you go. Yep. Okay. Are we on? See, now I have no idea what's going on.
We're on. Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
All right.
Hey.
Hi. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just in this blind now. I can't see any of your comments. Gemma's going to read them to me.
I'm going to try.
And are we good? Yeah. Okay. So we've got a couple of tips first before I give you an example of some circle time activities. And the first tip that I have for you is that we always try to make circle time activities active, because that's the word, right? Activities. So whenever we're planning circle time, we try to think, like, what is the teacher doing? But more importantly, what are the kids doing? What are they touching? What are they, how are they moving? What are they saying? How are they active in the circle time activity? So that's first, that the circle time activity has to be active. And second, I think it's so important that we really pay attention to the age and attention span of the kids. We use as a rule of thumb 1 to 2 minutes per year of their age, which means if you have 2-year-olds, that their circle time might only be 2 to 4 minutes. For us with our 3-year-olds, we start with 3 or 4 minutes, and our goal by the end of the year, when they've turned 4, is 8 minutes. So we build up that time throughout the year. Right now with our pre-K students, they're 4 here at the beginning of the year, so we go between, they're really good for about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, and then by the end of the year when they're 5, we'll have a 10-minute circle time. Last week I was explaining how we do our name songs at the beginning for literacy, and it's just a morning welcome and warm up. But then we have a second circle time midway through the day when we do something thematic. So that's what I'm going to share with you now. How many examples did we get out? Like 6 different circle time lessons that we do with our own kids that we think would be really easy for you to do with your kids too. So hopefully you can get 1 or 2 ideas to use with your own class. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. One of our favorite circle time activities is like a hiding game. We have lots of different versions of this where we hide things and ask the students to close their eyes and try to figure out what we're doing. And the one I'm going to share with you is that Wiggly Worm. It's a little poem that I wrote, and it's called, it goes, Wiggly little worm, here's that little guy, is crawling on the ground. Under which apple will he be found, or will it be found? And so what we do, can you guys see the table? Okay, so what we have spread out here are 8 different apples, and they're numbered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll introduce that to the students and have them count, and we'll talk about how the 8 apples are different colors. We've got a red, an orange, and we'll talk about that just for a minute.
And it's in rainbow order.
Of course it's in rainbow order.
Jamie likes rainbow order.
I do like rainbow order. And so then what I'll ask the students to do is, boys and girls, close your eyes really quickly. Close them, and I hide the worm, and I say, open your eyes. Who would like to guess where the worm is hiding? Of course, oh, me, I want to guess. And so Susie will say, I think he's under the orange number 2. And we'll look, oh, no worm. Who wants to guess next? And Johnny will say, I think he's under green number 4. No worm. And then little Sarah will say, I know, I want to guess blue number 6. And so when we open it up, there's the worm. And they all get so excited, we found the worm. And we just play that again. It's really good for transition times too, when you only have a few minutes, you know, if you're waiting for dismissal, because it can go as long as you want it to go or as quickly as you need it to go. So this is the first one. If you don't have this printable, it's in my apple unit, but if you don't have it, you could just draw apples on different colored paper and put numbers on them and cut out a little brown worm. Easy enough. Okay, is anybody watching? Are there any questions?
Yes, no questions.
No questions yet, okay.
Just some hi.
Hi, everybody.
And thank you.
Okay, so that's activity number 1. Hide something and have them use guessing skills and also work on color and number identification. So the second one that I'm going to show you is something that we try to do with every unit no matter what, and that is a sensory activity. So if we're studying apples, probably one of the very first circle times that we'll do is just bring a basket of apples, make sure that everybody has one, and we'll just talk about how we can use our senses to explore the apple. And so we'll just, especially in the fall, talk them through. Let's look at the apples. What do you see with your eyes? And of course they all have one, so they're excited. And if it's apples, I'll have to say, don't eat it yet. You know, and then let's feel it with our fingers. And what do you feel? What do you notice is different, you know, about the apple? This one has a stem and this one doesn't. Can you smell it? Can you hear it? And then maybe later we'll say we'll taste them at snack time. But a sensory activity, if you're studying fall, if it's passing around acorns and pine cones, or you're studying winter and you bring in a bucket of snow or some ice cubes, those are all really good activities for preschoolers. They're involved because they're using their senses, and again, can be as quick as you need it to be, or as long as your students will tolerate, no more than about 2 minutes per year of their age. So use a sensory experience is another fun one. Here's another one of my favorites, and we also use this for every unit, no matter what. I bring out this tray covered with a bandana, and they get so excited about what in the world could be under here. And so I'll show them. Boys and girls, on this tray, I have lots of things that have to do with, and if we've been studying fall, they'll probably say, look, they're all fall things. And we'll talk about what I have. There's a little pumpkin. This one I put a pine cone, some corn, a flower, an apple, and a leaf. We might even count how many things are on the tray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could say there's 2 orange things, 2 red things, and 2 brown things. And I'm trying to get them to think about how they can remember all of the things on this tray. Because the game is, again, we'll have them close their eyes, but it's not as important if they peek because I cover it up with the bandana and I'll say, open your eyes. Which thing is missing from my tray? You know, I might give them a clue. It's something here, it's something round, it's something red. And they can all shout out. They don't have to sit and be quiet and take turns. They can all shout out, oh, it's the apple. I said, you're so smart. Let's try again. Cover it up, close your eyes, and I'll take something away. What's missing from the tray? And if they can't figure it out, I'll say, you know, let's ask a friend, or I'll give you a clue. Do you want a clue? It's something brown. And then they guess, oh, I think it was the pine cone. And this is really good for their concentration, for their memory skills, and I can put this tray together. So I don't like to plan for, it's a bummer if you have to plan like 30 minutes for a 5-minute activity, right? So I can put a tray like this together in under a minute. I just grab my tray or my pie pan or whatever, I run around the room and get, at the beginning of the year, 4 or 5 things, and then by the end of the year I can have 6 or 7, or we've had classes that get so good at it, they could even have like 8 things on the tray. And I just gather things up, cover it up with a bandana, and we play this memory tray game. So this is an easy one to put together. We good? Mm-hmm. Gemma's making faces at me. I'm not sure how to interpret
I'm just reading all of it.
Okay, it's weird not to be able to see what we're doing. Like, I feel like you would tell me if I had like something in my teeth, right?
Someone has said they're going to be doing it tomorrow with spring items. And
Oh,
I can only assume they're from Australia.
Australia or New Zealand. Hi there. We definitely want to come visit. We're trying to figure out how we can work that out.
Chocolate too.
I know. Okay, can you pan to the pocket chart?
Yes.
Okay, so here's another one.
My camera skills.
And the singing that she wanted to miss out on, so you want to do a good job on the camera. So this is a song to the tune of Bingo. We like to do it with apple, we'll do it with water, W-A-T-E-R, we'll do it with Santa, and it's a fun way to practice their letters. So this one says, again, this is from my Apple unit, but you could just write South Africa.
That's very cool.
This is so cool. How cool is this? Hello in South Africa. That's so cool. Okay, so this one you could just write the letters on a piece of paper if you didn't want to use the unit. But the song goes like this.
I'm not singing it. Jamie, take it away.
I feel like we should try to do one Facebook Live video where I don't sing. Just for the sake of the people who are watching. Okay, it says, I like a fruit that's red and sweet, and apple is its name, oh. A-P-P-L-E, 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 and apple is its name, oh. And then I tell the boys and girls, we're gonna cover up this first letter. What's the first letter? Say A, okay. And then this time, instead of saying A-P-P-L-E, we'll say crunch. I like a fruit that's red and sweet, and apple is its name, oh. Crunch, P-P-L-E, crunch, P-P-L-E, like that. And then the second time we'll put 2 crunches with the little worm, and the kids will say, crunch, crunch, P-L-E. They think it's so much fun. They're practicing the letters, and then a lot of our 4 and 5-year-olds will go home and say, I know how to spell apple. It's A-P-P-L-E, which is just a fun little way for them to participate.
Someone has a question.
Yes, I'm ready for the question.
Yasmira, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. She would like to know if we sing before we start with activities. We sing all the time. Example, good morning song, weather song.
Do we sing before we start?
We sing all the time, but we sing our good morning song.
We sing the
don't
good morning
do a weather song.
We don't have a weather song.
No.
We do the good morning song first thing in the morning, if I'm understanding the question right. And then depending on what the thematic,
Sometimes we'll sing for that, sometimes we will not sing.
depending on what the activity is, we'll sing or we won't sing in the middle. So, okay, you ready for the last one? Oh no, there's 2 more. That was only number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 more. Or am I in?
Yeah. Oh.
She's like,
Really?
oh no. I don't have to be in. We can just
Really,
do it
I'm
all.
not very good at this.
So another thing that we really like to do is find a finger play or some kind of a little poem that the kids can do. And again, keeping in mind that we want it to be an activity and not a passivity where they just sit. We want to find ways that they can participate. So you're probably familiar with the little poem, 2 red apples. And we like to do that and invite the kids to participate rather than just even holding their hands up. We'll give them 2 little apple counters, or we'll make red cutouts of the apples and we'll give 2 for each child. And then they can sing the song. Way up high in the apple tree, 2 red apples smiled at me. I shook the tree as hard as I could, and then they drop them. Down came the apples. They were good. And they love to hold onto their apples and then drop them. This is a good one if you have 2-year-olds who might not have the language skills to participate with you. So you can give them something to hold and do nearing you. And they think it's so funny. Do it again, we want to drop our apples. So we put them up high in the apple tree and shake it, and they drop them. So simple, but it's getting them to follow directions and participate and hopefully develop their language skills too. Is that good? We're good? Okay.
There's all sorts of people joining us.
Hi everybody.
Texas and
Texas?
North Carolina.
Hi North Carolina. That's close. Hi. It's so fun to see people from all over the world and the country. There have been a lot of English people too. Jenna's got a lot of friends across the pond. All right, and then the last one that I want to share with you is sorting. So sorting is a really important skill for our preschoolers, and it's one we try to do with every unit also. So if we're studying spring, for example, down South Africa, we might have a basket of clothes and we would sort them. Is this something you could wear in this spring, or is it something you wear in the summer? If we're studying farm, I might pull out all of my plastic animals and we'll sort them. Are these animals that live on the farm or don't live on the farm? So I just pulled an example that we had out. We're studying letters, of course, and so far we've learned the letter T and the letter F. This is a little alphabet soup game from Learning Resources, but you could use your own, just even a T and an F down on the carpet. And I give every student a picture. I'll just pass them around. And so every student has a picture, and then they hold up their picture. So this is a fence, and they just have to sort it. Does fence start with F, or does it start with T? So they say, oh, it goes with F, and they put it in the can. What about fish? Does it start with F, or does it start with T? And the kids will say, fish, it starts with F. What about tiger? Oh, it starts with T. So anytime you can give them each a piece and work on sorting together. We did it the first week of school with, is that a good choice to make as far as behavior or bad choice? We do it with the seasons, we do it with clothes, we do it with, like I said, animals. With transportation, we might sort wheels or no wheels, or we'll sort it into 3 categories. Is it in the air, on the ground, or in the sea? Anytime you can get students to sort, it's really good for their cognitive skills. So that's about it. Those are our tips and tricks for circle time. If you are local here in Virginia, I'm doing a full 3-hour workshop on Saturday about how to run an effective circle time. It's free. All of the classes that I offer on Saturdays are free. So if you are local, message me and I'll give you some more information about, you can find my email on my blog. But leave me a message and I will be happy to tell you how to sign up for those free classes. If you're not local, stay tuned because Jem and I will be back on Facebook every afternoon with tips.
I had a question that someone is working with 2-year-olds.
Yes, 2-year-olds.
They only learn one letter at a time.
Right.
So would we still recommend doing the applesong?
I still think you can do it because the students, even if we haven't taught all 4 of these letters for our students, but they can still sing along. So I went to college in the 90s where we studied whole language, of course, so that tends to be how I think. But there's no reason why you couldn't sing the apple song if you've only taught the A. They could still learn the other letters in context of the word apple, even if you haven't explicitly taught the other letters. Just like they might know the other letters of their name, even if you haven't explicitly taught them. So yes, of course, I would still say this might be a little bit tough for 2s. I would stick to something like the finger plays, the memory tray, and I would only put 3 items maybe on the memory tray. The sensory experiences are really good for 2-year-olds. But keep in mind when we're thinking 1 to 2 minutes per year of their age, that 2-year-olds then we're expecting them to be participating or possibly participating for 2 to 3 minutes. And that doesn't mean sit crisscross applesauce in the circle with your hands folded. It means doing whatever you're asking them to do just for a few minutes. So I think it's really important for teachers that we keep our expectations on target with our students' attention spans. So good question. Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. It must be the signal.
Or the camera lady.
I don't know if that is or not.
All right, so that's all we have for you this afternoon. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how we work with the names with our youngest students, so our 3-year-olds, how we do their morning work or their arrival activity and set up name activities for them. So I'm going to show you what we have set up for them. And Friday will be a surprise. We haven't decided yet. We've got lots of people asking about our schedule. We wanted to share with you about how we teach them to greet us in the morning. So we've got lots of different things, and we'll let you know tomorrow. Have a great afternoon. Bye, everybody.